All right, Shalom. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for everything. We worthy to be praised for everything. And we got to continue on looking in this holy word, the Bible, reading from the King James 611 Bible, authorized King James Version, and bringing forth this truth, the word of the Most High. I want to continue on the fear of the Most High. Because we can't cover it enough. It's all throughout the Bible. Respecting Him, being afraid of Him, being scared of Him, and doing what He say do, and following His laws, statutes, commandments, His rules and regulations. Simple as that. You know, and it's not hard. You're not supposed to feel bad about doing what's right to please Him. Because the kingdom was promised to the children of Israel, the kingdom of heaven within us. So what's it within you? Wickedness, evil. So that's what He's going to bring to you. So, but if you bring the righteousness of the Most High and fearing Him, if you fear, then you won't do what's wrong. You'll have that fear in you that you don't want to make Him angry. Because you see with the wrath of the Most High, well, most people probably don't see it because they don't really recognize that Most High is bringing forth the hurricanes and fires and the storms and floods and tornadoes and tidal waves. That's the Most High. So I went over exclusively concerning they calling these hurricanes by different names, alphabetical order names, when it's the Most High. It is the Most High, people. And see, He's going to give them a name. Like He put those 10 plagues on the Egyptians. Everybody knew of the Most High. It's like everybody gonna know of Him. Ain't gonna be no Mother Nature, ain't gonna be no El Nino, ain't gonna be La Nina, ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be all about the Most High. Mashiach Shai is coming back to this earth to set righteousness up on this earth. So y'all have y'all fun with y'all wickedness because all that's gonna be done away with. And the wicked people. The evil people. We're going to live in a righteous world, and everybody got an opportunity to live in a righteous world. We have an opportunity as Israelites to live forever. Immortality, that's the blessing we were blessed with from the beginning. We had immortality, but we blew it. Want to go ahead and eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We need to know nothing about no evil. And here we are in the last days dealing with what? Straight evil. Straight nothing but evil. Nothing but evil. It's the day of evil. So, get ready for what it is that's to come. And the only way you're going to get ready is to be ready. At all times. And have a relationship with the Most High. By Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Point blank. Other than that, you wasting your time. You get a lot of knowledge. You get a lot of knowledge when you went to the university. You got your degree. Then you go do a job, the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. That you learned backwards, frontwards and backwards. But you went through all that curriculum just to be able to do whatever you're doing over and over again. To do what? To make money. So here it is. We ain't gonna be saved with money. Your money not gonna do you no good when it comes down to salvation. You better have this truth in you. You better be learning to live it and apply it in your life. That's what it's all about. Spiritually endowed with a relationship with the Most High. You know, Mashiach Shai better know you. He come back and you say, oh, He tells that. They will say, Lord, we cast out devils in Thy name. We did this in Thy name and that in Thy name. We was doing everything in Your name. He will say, depart from me that work iniquity. I never knew you, paraphrasing. So I never knew you. That's a deep statement. For Mashiach Shai, when we reach the judgment seat of Mashiach Shai, for Him to say that, He gonna judge you according to the judgment of the Most High. Period. He ain't going against the Most High. He said in John 10 30, I and my Father are one. They one. They in agreement. We out of order. They in order. That's why he said let everything be done decently and in order. When the man is over the woman over the children, and Mashiach Yahushua over the man, and the Most High over Mashiach Yahushua, let everything but be done decently and in order. They in order. Angels in order. You're going to see that. Angels in order with the Most High. On the right hand and the left hand. They in order. We the ones out of order. But we got to come together. Think about it. We got to read a book. And still read the book and still don't understand it. A lot of you out there ain't take the time to really go over these precepts. But some things are self-explanatory. Some things have been, the Spirit say, go over it. Make sure you reiterate this to them. Most High speak once, say twice, man perceive it not. See? So some things he done wrote in one chapter. He's got to say the same thing pretty much in another chapter. Or he might say it another way. Since you didn't understand it the first time, he said he might rephrase it another way, or it might be the same words, exact same words, in another chapter. We're going to see that. As we go into this and get the understanding of the fear of the Most High. The fear is something that means you're afraid, you're scared. So when you're afraid and you're scared, you will respect that. Look at, go to 2 Samuel's 23rd chapter. 2 Samuel's the 23rd chapter. We're going to start at verse 1. Second Samuel 23:1. It says, now these be the last words of David. Talking about King David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the Most High power of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said, he was a musician. He played the harp, which is like the piano, horizontally. You see. This is what he said. Verse 2. The Spirit of the Most High spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. Verse 3 is clear. The power of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of the Most High. See, everyone that's ruling over men have to rule under the fear of the Most High. Because you're going to have to give an account of your actions. You have to give account. That's why you got to rule in the fear of the Most High. These countries that's ruling now, they rule in the fear of the Most High? No. When you think about what the law says, what the Most High's law said, then they can care less. 2 Samuel 23. And verse 6. Just a moment. Second Samuel 23:6. But the sons of Belial shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron and the staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place. Dang. These are the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time. 800 men, mighty men, that feared the Most High. And after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo, the Agagite, one of the three mighty men with David. When they defied the Philistines that were there, gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away, he arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Most High wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him, only the spoil. After him was Shema, the son of Agi, the Hagarite, and the Philistines were gathered together into a troop. Philistines are the Egyptians, so-called Africans or Hamites. Where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. They were running from the Philistines, these Africans. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it and slew the Philistines. He stood in the midst of the ground and defended it and slew the Philistines. And the Most High wrought a great victory. See? And 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in an hole, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. They put a garrison in our hometown of Bethlehem. And David longed and said, listen at this, oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And the 3 mighty men break through the host, that's the army, of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Most High. And he said, be it far from me, O Most High, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? I mean, they fought through the whole army of the Philistines to get King David some water. Therefore, he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men do. See? That's the power of having the fear of the Most High. There it is. Power. 1 Kings, the 8th chapter. And let's look at verse, just a moment. Bible flew out right there, so I changed Bible. So just a moment. But you see how they loved David, a man after the Most High's heart, after the Most High's mind, that he longed for some water. And them 3 mighty men fought the Philistines, going and coming. Going, they had to fight them. They got the water and fought their way back and had the water, so they didn't drop it. They ain't drop any. Because they had it for them. That's what David said, man, I can't drink this. This is beyond imagination, that he longed for some, and they went and got it. That's the power that we have. 1 Kings 8:37. When you fear the Most High. If there be in the land famine, 1 Kings 8:37, which is food shortage. If there be pestilence, diseases, blasting, mildew, locusts, or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever this sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man, or by all thy people Israel, which shall know every man the plague of his own heart, his own mind, and spread forth his hands toward this house, which is toward the east, then hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and forgive, and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart or mind thou knowest, for thou, even thou only, knoweth the hearts or the minds of all the children of men. See, the Most High know your thoughts. Listen, that they may fear thee. Once again, that they may fear thee all the days that they live in the land which thou gavest unto our fathers. See? So, all the days of our life, we're supposed to fear the Most High. Here it is. Respect him. The only way you respect him is to do what he say do. Follow his rules and regulations. Y'all know about rules and regulations. His laws, statutes, commandments that he gave us. That's showing that you fear him. Otherwise, you do whatever you want to do, and you suffer the consequences of the wrath of the Most High. That's the way he rolled. You're going to see this. Go to 2 Kings. The 17th chapter. And we're going to book it at look at verse 31. And the Avites made Nibhaz and Tartek, and the Sepharvites burnt their children in fire to the gods of Sepharim. You know, I don't even want to even deal with them gods, but this is what they did. So they feared the Most High, and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Most High, and served their own gods, after the manner of the nations, whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former matters. They fear not the Most High, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Most High commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom the Most High had made a covenant, and charged them, saying, Ye shall not fear other gods. See, it was fearing these other gods. nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them, but the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm. Him shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall ye do sacrifice. And the statutes, and the ordinances, and the law, and the commandment, which he wrote for you, which he wrote for you, which he wrote for you, the Most High, ye shall observe to do forevermore, and ye shall not fear other gods. See? And the covenant, which is a contract or agreement that I have made with you, ye shall not forget. Neither shall you fear other gods. You see how the Most High speak once or twice? Man perceive it now. But the Most High your power, ye shall fear. Hear that? But the Most High, he tell you, ye shall fear. And he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies to be saved. That's being saved. To be delivered out of the hand of all our enemies. Howbeit they did not listen, they ain't hearken, but they did after their former matter. So these nations feared the Most High and served their graven images, both their children and their children's children, as did their fathers, so do they unto this day. Just like you are whenever you up in these religions and so forth. Dealing with this. That's why I went over and will continue to go over the religious instructions of the Negroes in the United States of America. But see, this is what we did. So therefore, listen to what it says. Psalms 106 and 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. When the Most High told us in Jeremiah 10 and 2, learn not the way of the heathen. Who were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, as it is today, we just read it. So do they unto this day. We learn the heathen's works, and they serve their idols, their gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols. They don't have the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No matter what you see on TV or whatever church you go to, point blank, if they're not an Israelite, the Most High said he is not their God. He is not their power. Point blank. And they served their idols. That's what we did. And still doing unto this day. Which were a snare unto them. Remember how they were sacrificing their sons and their daughters in the fire? Listen. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. See? And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. See? And thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. He hated his own inheritance. We the children of Israel, because we ain't follow his law, statute, commandments. We broke his covenant, agreement that he gave only to us. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen. And they that hated them ruled over them. People that rule over you don't love you. He said they that hated us ruled over us. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them. He delivered us. He's always sent a man to deliver us, but this captivity, ain't no man gonna deliver us. Only a Mashiach Yahushua. He already said he ain't coming back as a man. In Isaiah 47 and 3. Verse 43 said, many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. See? We went to captivity for our sins. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. See, some of you, in your comfort zone, you satisfied. with the affliction that you see our people going through. But when it hits home, now you want everybody to cry for you. Don't wait till it hit home. You better look at what's going on and cry for our people. In the affliction that we're going through, whether it's myself or anyone else that hear my voice. You're an Israelite, you better cry to the Most High for all the affliction that our people are going through. Family suffering, death. That's almost like get our attention. Or you just take everything away from you. Lose everything. He gets your attention. He know how to get our attention. So you hear what he's saying here. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, verse 43, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. That's the only time he had pity on us, when he heard our cry. You're going to see this. And he remembered for them his covenant. You hear that? He remembered for us his covenant that he made with the 12 tribes of Israel. He made it with Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who the covenant was for, unto this day. And he remembered for them his covenant and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. See? He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. See? This is the power that we have. How is he going to make a whole nation pity us? He did. Hear what it says. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. Save us, O Most High, our power, and gather us from among the heathen, to give thanks unto thy holy name, and to triumph in thy praise. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. And let all the people say, Hallelujah, praise ye the Most High. See? That's what we're crying out now. For the salvation that the Most High promised he going to bring to Israel. And that salvation is coming forever and ever. That's why they asked in Acts 1 and 6, are you going to restore the kingdom to Israel? They figured the Mashiach going to say, you've been there 40 days, man. You going to restore the kingdom to Israel? Not knowing the prophecies of the curses have not been fulfilled. We fulfilled all those. We have seen them. We can go back and relate to all the things written from Deuteronomy 28:16 to 68. And all the rest of the prophecies that has to happen, that has not happened as of yet. Oh, but it's on its way. You better believe that. The Most High is not a man he should lie, so that's why he said watch and pray. So let's look at that First Chronicles 16 and let's start at because this is David giving a psalm or song. The psalms are songs of gratitude to the Most High. First Chronicles 16:1. It says, so they brought the ark of the Most High and set it in the midst of the tent that David had pitched for it, and they offered burnt sacrifices and peace offerings before the Most High. And when David had made an end of offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people by Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, the name of the Most High. And he dealt to every one of Israel, both man and woman, to every one a loaf of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So he was, not to be concerned about eating. So the king took care of us. Look at verse 11. It says, seek the Most High and his strength. Seek his face continually. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders and the judgments of his mouth. What the Most High has done. Remember his marvelous works. And ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Most High, our power. Our is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. He is the Most High, our power. His judgments are in all the earth. Be ye mindful always of his covenant, his laws, statutes, commandments, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, even of the covenant which he made with Abraham, and of his oath unto Isaac, and I confirmed the same to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. See? And when you look at the same thing is written in Psalms 105 and 8. King David says again, like I say, it's written there in 1 Chronicles 16, here it is in Psalms 105 and 8. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. That's the land of Israel. When they were but a few men in number, yeah, very few, and strangers in it. When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yeah, he reproved kings for their sake. See, this is our power when we in order with the Most High. Saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. See, go back to 1 Chronicles 16. And listen, verse 15, be ye mindful always of his covenant, his agreement, his contract that he had and made with us. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, even of the covenant which he made with Abraham, and of his oath unto Isaac, and I confirmed the same to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying unto thee, will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. See, the land of Canaan is the land of Israel today. When you were but few, even a few, and strangers in it. And when they went from nation to nation and from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yeah, he reproved kings for their sake, saying, touch not mine anointed. Get that? We the children of Israel, we are the Most High's anointed. Just like a Mashiach Yahushua is the anointed Savior. But it's only one, a Mashiach. But we as the children of Israel are the Most High's anointed too. As it says, saying, verse 22, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Sing unto the Most High. So we're supposed to be singing to the Most High. All the earth. Show forth from day to day his salvation. Sing supposed to be sung to the Most High. Not this secular crap that they're dealing with and what it is that they have our people following and listening to. That's abominations and so forth, having our people be wicked. He says, you ain't gonna sing those wicked songs to the Most High. Most High be done shot a bolt of lightning down and tow your butt up. Say, sing it to the Most High, all the earth. Show forth from day to day his salvation. Declare his glory among the heathen. See? His marvelous works among all nations. We're supposed to be declaring the Most High among the heathen, these other nations. Our power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever and ever and ever. These are power. And see, people have a problem because read it and make it mean something different. Say, declare his glory among the heathen, his marvelous works among all nations. For great is the Most High, and greatly to be praised. He also is to be feared above all gods, all idols that these nations are dealing with. Above everything. And he's worthy to be praised for everything. For all the gods of the people are idols. See that? For all the gods of the people are idols. But the Most High made the heavens. That's why when you look at Psalms 96 and 5, listen to what it says. For all the gods of the nations are idols. So those people they're talking about are these other nations. But the Most High made the heavens, see? Just a moment.